Well, it's been a hard-fought game. You'd expect that, but the Swans have been so efficient forward today. Reid was a huge factor in that quarter. He became the focal point on Cameron for a while. He kicked 3 third-quarter goals, and the Swans kicked 5 without a miss. Look at that. They're 13-4 now. A fortnight ago, they kicked 18-6 against Essendon on a Friday night. So scoring shots, 2 in favour of the Suns, but the margin with that late Kennedy goal is a pretty big one at three-quarter time. It's 82-49. As we go down to you, Jude, it's been a fascinating match, but Sydney in control.
Yeah, definitely, Bruce. Sydney have definitely been in control, but the big thing for the Suns, they're ranked 18th in the competition for mark play-on percentage. They run at about 23% in most games. That quarter, they dropped down to 20%. This is a chance where they need to roll and turn and go. A few times they did it, they looked a lot more dangerous, but they just need to get the ball, turn and wheel, get it into Lynch, Day and Dixon, give them a chance. Teddy Richards has been outstanding down there. He's just been getting his hand in everything, but they just need to turn and go. But the big story for mine is obviously Kurt Tippett, just been subbed at this stage. They tested him all through that third quarter break. You can see Dr. Nathan Gibbs testing him out there. He's been given the red vest, and Jake Lloyd will start on this quarter.
Still on its way. That's a pretty good sign, isn't it, Lee?
Yes, it doesn't look like it's serious, but he's obviously sore enough that they think better to get you off. He certainly didn't look like he was crippled or anything of that nature.
They're in control. They lead by 38 points starting this final term on Sunday football. Smith wins it down. Jack hammers it out of there only as far as Harbrow. Harbrow's kick goes up the side of his boot. It wanders out towards the outer side. In front, Bennell, knocked away by Shaw. And out of bounds it goes. So 15 points at quarter time, 25 at half time, 38 now. But probably the Suns had their best quarter of football in that third term. There's Kurt Tippett. Not the best of days, ending badly. So nothing he can take from this one, except his team looks set for another victory. That's going to be a free kick. It'll go to Broughton on the outer side. He's at left centre wing.
Just too high, so gives it off to the lovely kicking McKenzie to Lynch. It's been busy, Lynch. He just hasn't been able to really hurt Sydney with his disposals. Goes to full forward. Well, Dixon really should have gone for that. Even he waited. The ball got over the back, and Malcheski finds Goods. So an opportunity missed. They love to give it back to Malcheski. Goods has a slip. Shaw. Well, McVeigh gets him. Ball not out. And it'll be a ball up. So just a little slip there from Goods. Jude, I see Hanbury being worked on here.
Yeah, he stretched his hamstrings during that whole three-quarter time break, so he's been just getting a lot of work on the bench.
Smith wins the tap. McGlynn down low. Matera look for the high tackle. Derricks has got him. A real David and Goliath. And a ball up.
Playing very good again today, Dan Hanbury. 24 possessions so far. Swallow knocks it goalward. Wide. Matera lays it off. Shaw hooks it back. One man in the goal square, though. That's his namesake. Malcheski goes to the pocket and finds Richards. Just talking about Hanbury. In his last 6 games, 192 possessions, averaging 32. Now, that is hot. Well above room temperature. Ball comes back from Jack. Laidler. Settled in nicely from a Carlton player. Here's Shaw moments ago, had it in the defensive goal square, kicks it down towards half forward, wide of the intended, but Franklin runs onto it, right on the numbers, pulls it back at his 4th, it's wide of the mark, and just carries the line for a behind.
We've talked a lot about the fact May's done really well on Franklin. But
He's only kicked 3 goals.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact is he has done extremely well, May, in the one-on-one contest, but that ground level ability of Franklin to get involved in the place got him his 3 goals.
Yep. So it's a good return from Buddy. Broughton got it from Stanley, and then Prestia. Good result. Smith's been impressive. Going to find out a lot about the Suns in the next half hour, you feel, because Sydney are not going to give them an easy goal. And can they stay competitive? I mean, the scoreboard's a fair margin, but it's been a competitive match for 90% of this game. Sydney got a real burst in the third quarter to put some space between themselves and the Suns, but most of the day, it's been a real battle. Gee, working hard here, O'Meara. Gee, he ran
hard there,
didn't he?
McVeigh was on his tail, but he said, "I'm going to let him go. I'll cover the next one upfield."
Hunt trying to turn his man. What about Hunt today? First time he's been back at this level.
Yeah,
had a
no,
lot
he
of-
hasn't. He hasn't really been involved in the play. He's plugged away, but hasn't really had much influence at all.
So look at the live ladder, guys. I mean, Sydney not far from that second spot. Of course, second really important when you're an out-of-Victorian team, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
After the boundary throw in, came from Jack to McGlynn. Now Jetta hooks it across the body inside the forward 50. Back of the pack, Franklin. Well, it was only a two-man pack, but he got his hands to it. Almost the tackle too. Slipping through as the mark did was May, who sends it towards the outer side. Smith tracks it. Heard the voice, knew where the help was. Comes back to Shaw. Malcheski, who started so well and helped them to an early lead. Drifted out of the game, but he's a very important cog across half-back. Comes to Richards. So Malcheski, 20 possessions.
Had 10 at quarter time then.
Yeah. First measures his game as the ball goes across to right half-back and Shaw. And again, they are quite happy to take the sting out of things.
It's been really good against Shaw. Here, Malcheski, we talked about earlier. Gee, Grundy and Richards as well. I mean, it's a very impressive defence.
They worked well as that group just to maintain possession and without any risk to go into a contest. Now they have to.
And Grundy playing the percentages. Gee, Derek's big fly couldn't quite. Smith trying to get down low. And then Jack feeding the ball out. Lynch. Little kick down the line. Bennell just laid it off for Ablett. Ablett getting some time and space. Gets it back. Running hard. Releasing. Handball by Kolajasny, getting it back, hand to stretch. The young fella, well done. Oh, this would be a magnificent goal. And it is. Brilliant.
Well, they got the first goal. No doubt Ablett was clearly set it up, but really it was then Kolajasny who gave it, went again, exhausted, still kicked straight.
That was the one on the full stretch, that hand pass in front of him, wasn't it? The recover from that was simply outstanding. So they work it forward again. Let's see what they can muster this time. Riscatelli, almost an involuntary hand pass. Well done, McGlynn. He went from one to the other. Upended Ablett. This is Jetta. Feeds it back at half-back. McVeigh very short. Wasn't 15, so Bird kicks close to the boundary line. Big leap by Broughton. Didn't stick the landing either. That hurt.
McGlynn hasn't moved, boys.
No. Watch this again. It gets very high. Oh, that's a knee on the side of the head.
He's actually got the Ablett match up too, McGlynn. So Ablett will now, and it looks like they've already made their sub.
Well, he can't stand up at the moment, Ben McGlynn.
Just watch his knee as well.
Gee whiz. Oh, dear.
He went down a strange funny angle, but I think his knee's okay. I think he's just completely stunned from that knee to the head.
Very few would get up. Ben McGlynn gets up. We know he's tough, and we've learnt that Cade Kolajasny is a player of the future. Pick 5 in last year's draft from Launceston. His twin brother Jake picked 41 in the same draft. He's on the Cats list. So McGlynn is okay, and that's a relative term, of course. Shaken. Prestia. Brilliant snatch there by O'Meara. Goes down towards half forward. The kick not so good. Rampy will get it. I think it was out of bounds on the full. No doubting that. We've got a perfect line on that one. So Rampy was running off, but he's got the football, and his kicking is a weapon too.
And he displays that, Dennis, with a 60-metre kick down the line and gets over the back. Franklin and May, this is where Buddy will be dangerous.
Yeah.
May's quick, isn't he? He was almost a match for Franklin. Franklin's kick to the pocket. Reed back to Goods. Goods buying some time. Going back to Derricks. And then Derricks off a step. Oh, well done by Cunningham. He's had a terrific match.
Worked his way in front of Broughton. Then that was typical. The forward actually knew exactly. He was all footy. Broughton was looking as there an opponent in the vicinity.
And a bit of finesse from Derricks there. I mean, it's a good kick from the big guy, isn't it?
You sound surprised.
Well, he's a carpenter.
He was a carpenter.
Well, Cunningham's never kicked 4. His career high is what he's had today. He's kicked 3 today to equal his career high. So this would be a fantastic day for him, and he has got it. So 4 to Cunningham.
Matches to come as far as the Swans are concerned. I think they'd settle for that. What a matchup the next one is, though.
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Great game. I think you pick the Swans against anyone at this point in time, but Port, they've just been fantastic all year.
Get the feeling neither side fears anybody. Sort of game you want to watch. Ablett out of the middle, floats one to half forward, bounces off the chest or breadbasket there of Day. Clattering into the pack is Parker. He was wrestled to the ground by Swallow. Prestia gives it across to Ablett. Ablett unloads, long kick 5 metres out. Dixon being held.
He's worked his way into the game, Ablett, this last bit. McGlynn obviously had the tag, but he's gone. Now Bird.
I think in a holding situation, the jumper, it's probably 2 jumpers equal 1 body.
Not going away. This is a very difficult draw, Lee. I mean,
yeah, Eagles are struggling. Gold Coast got a real chance over there, but always a tough trip to Perth.
That'd be a chance against Geelong here, I reckon, don't you?
Yeah, I think they have a chance against most sides. They've got a lot of talent, a lot of capabilities.
Are they completely out of this match here? I mean, it's 5 goals, I guess.
It's hard to see the Swans being able to concede 5 goals because they're so good at taking the heat out of the game if the opposition get a little bit of a surge.
And you mentioned Ablett, Lee. 30 disposals today for the 96th time in his career.
No, fantastic. He's much better as the late in the game he started to be able to kick the ball a bit better. Kick the ball a bit more, I should say. A lot of pressured hand passes early.
So 41% efficiency lead to half-time and 93% since half-time. Franklin in a difficult pocket. Well played, buddy. Squares it up. And just coming onto the ground, Lloyd, the sub, takes the mark. It's been the story of the day a bit, isn't it? Every time the Suns have sort of got close, Sydney have been able to reply.
Just let themselves down, don't they? They don't seem to be able to knuckle down and get the next one.
No.
But then again, the team they're playing are very good at knuckling down.
And actually providing opportunities and creating opportunities from their chances forward.
And this young man's been really impressive. He hasn't played in a losing team yet and gets a goal. So Sydney sneak away again.
So the margin 34 points, and without being patronising, I would think anything under 30 would be a terrific result for the Suns.
Thanks, fellas.
They met a team this afternoon in all respects who were white hot. And they've not been able to beat them, but they've been able to go with them at various times in this game. Well done by Swallow. Bird is down and hurt. Out of the middle, Harbrow towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Melcheski, well, he took evasive qualities there into that contest and got hit in the head but got the football. Hand pass forward by Prestia. In goes Lynch, falling to the ground, got a hand pass off. Jetta is tackled, threw it out, open hand. It's grabbed by Matera in any case, but he's hit the behind post, so it'll be a free kick to Sydney. Well, that hand pass wasn't legal. Oh, wow. And again, we're confronted with the time-honoured problem of the bump. Time honoured by all of about, what is it, 12 weeks?
It's a day in the contest. Swallow, speaking of Swallow, Colin Jasny kicked a magnificent goal in this quarter. Jack Hanbury is in a rich vein of form, Hanbury, as he was at about this time last year. The kick wide to Parker. Gee, they're deep, Sydney, aren't they? They've got a really big, deep squad. Hanbury, Kennedy, another really good game from him. Measured kick, and May has been, well, he's been terrific.
He's been outstanding. It's just every time getting in front.
Re-signed with the Suns this week and celebrating that with a really good performance on a really good player.
So this is interesting. Jetta in a one-on-one free kick to Harbrow.
Can he go back in and renegotiate, Lee?
He's done it to
Week too early.
He's done it to 2017. So. Well, that's a bad kick. Well, Harbrow, and Jack's able to turn Bennell, and then he misses the target of Lloyd. Back to Buddy, back to Lloyd, and then Lloyd off a step. Goods in a good spot. Hasn't quite. Still with Goods.
Gee.
Stanley hanging all over him. Goods gets it back to Lloyd. Lloyd twisting, turning, goes back to McVeigh. McVeigh sizing it up. That's a good kick.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, look to the open forward pocket, McVeigh. They've got great vision, the majority of the Swans players. That's why they're such a good unit. Just pick out what's the best option. That's what they've done in their forward 50. I mean, if it's been Cunningham that's been on, whatever player that's on gets the footy.
You know how I told you I spoke to Derricks in the lift today? The last thing he said to me, he said, gee, they're a good club. He said, gee, they're a good club. They are selfless. They do work well. And Parker gets it home for his second.
Have a look at that clash. No, I think that's just a guy going for the footy. I think if two players are both going for the footy, incidental contact, that is what the game's all about, as long as both players are actually going for the footy.
Margin 40 points then. Midway through the term. Bounce means that Smith has to wait. In turn did Ablett. Parker charging in off the line. Makes it very combative in there, and the umpire will ball it up again. Most enjoyable game this, and we've said that I think every time we've seen the Suns this year. What to like about them, their style of play. Smith is all the way back too. He knocks it down, coming off a serious knee injury. Harborough towards half forward, missed down there. Hunt goes back after it though. Well played by Laidler. Got it to Melcheski to Bird. Now Shaw across to McVeigh. That's a lovely kick. Jetta's been pretty good this afternoon. Very dangerous. Open goal square. Senses it immediately and slams it through for his second.
Been waiting for those all night. A lot of the time, Jetta, because he's got such speed, he gets around that 50-metre line. The question was, will he actually break it and just kick the long goal? And he's had a couple of opportunities and he hasn't taken that option, but that one, there was no real other option on, so coming inside, it's a beautiful, long, powerful kick.
And Lee, earlier today, Mike Pike in the reserves.
So
he's missed 5 games with a hamstring, so getting ready to come back.
He's another player who's ready to play. Derricks has been doing well enough in the ruck, so Sam Root's a good second forward. So I don't think it's any automatic that he'll get back next week. I mean, he might have to earn his spot back.
Well, it just shows you where Sydney are at the moment. So for the first time this year, Jetta, multiple goals, 6 times he's kicked one, and without picking on Carmichael Hunt, that was a big drop mark at half forward a moment ago. It just bounced out of his chest, and they were able to get a goal and get to 17-5, so the big margin in the match. So Pike getting through today. We know typically a bit of a knee, so O'Meara coughing it up. Reid getting involved. Jack. And I wonder how close Sydney are getting to that second spot now as they start to get some margin between themselves and the Gold Coast. Because Hawthorn's second at the moment behind Port Adelaide. So see the tackle count here.
Come back, fellas. Come back.
It's a tough 6 weeks for the Suns. We know that they've got a really difficult draw. They got to 7-2. Almost felt like if they could get 2 wins from these 6 matches, they'd give themselves a really big chance in a boundary throw-in.
Yes, I've always thought if you can get to halfway point 8-3, well, in the box seat for top 4, even top 2, but 7-4 is a really good result. If you can double that and get to your 14-6, well, you're going to be well up there.
Derricks has a swing at it, missed the football. Harborough went back after it. Franklin met him, dug out of there by Jacks. Now an opportunity, or rather Jack. It's only one of them. Ball goes down. Well, there are 2 of them actually. Going back is Kolajasny. Well done by Stanley. And now into the path of Swallow. McVeigh came to him as a result. Riscatelli is free. Back to Prestia. And now O'Meara. Little 1-2 with Shaw. O'Meara's got better the longer it's gone. Oh, brilliant. Given the state of play, wonderful by Derricks. Just launching himself, getting the smother, and the ball flying out of bounds.
Well, they won't get there today, Lee, with the second spot, the Swans. They're going to be third tonight.
Short, but after round 22, it really matters, Macca. It's only just a little bit of a curiosity at this point of the year. The win-loss ratio, that's all you really get in your mind until very late in the year.
Lee, you know Dennis is a curious person. I'm just working to his talents, that's all. So Lloyd gets it to Shaw, and then Shaw wide. Franklin, well done this time, Thompson. They've been good, Thompson and May. I know we've said that a lot today, but they have. And that's a really good contest. Buddy working hard, Thompson working hard. Ball squirts out, Bird back to Shaw. Cunningham's had a day out. Coughs it up to Dixon. Bad handball by Dixon. Put Hunt under the pump. Hunt's a good tackler. O'Meara, Prestia, good vision, finds Shaw. Have they taken a step back, the Suns, or do you think they've held their ground in terms of where they're at?
I think they've done OK today. I mean, you're playing against a team that is just about the form team of the competition. Port Adelaide aside, I guess they've been great too. But so the Suns have been in the game inaccurate, and that's probably cost them their absolute winning chance.
Bennell, Kolajasny lines up his second. He loves this running off half-back business and puts it through. Great kick moments ago by Matera.
So just repeating, only teenager out there today for either team. He's 18 years of age, this boy.
Yeah, no, he looks a really talented player. He's obviously drafted accordingly. He's very high draft choice. Number 5. He looks like a real talent. Plenty of youth, plenty of under 25 talent in the Swans team. The Suns team, and the Swans for that matter.
So Ablett to Harbrow back to Swallow. Nice step by Swallow. Ablett. It's had a really strong second half, Ablett. Called to play on. Stopping and propping. Lovely kick. He's done that a lot today, Ablett. I mean, he really has had a terrific second half.
What's interesting, he's had 14 kicks and 19 handballs, a lot of disposal, but when he kicks the ball, that's when he's most valuable. I mean, every now and again there'll be a set-up handball, but he is such a beautiful kick of the footy, whether he finishes and kicks a goal himself or sets up teammates upfield. If you can force him to handball, that's a major win, I think, for the opposition.
So Lynch right in front, and Gold Coast, to their credit here, are really ticking it over in the last quarter.
He deserved a goal. He's battled manfully on the forward line. Big Tom Lynch. A lot of heavy hits this afternoon too. Some of them will be scrutinised, including that one. In fact, most of them are scrutinised these days. That's fair enough, I would have thought. But Lee, it has been a physical game.
Oh yeah, it's always going to be physical when you. I love that. That is just, I mean, unfortunately, Craig Bird's the one who came off second best, but that is two guys, eyes on the footy, charging out. I mean, that's what the game is all about. You can protect players as much as possible, make the game less dangerous. I applaud that. But when they're both going at the footy, that's incidental contact. Just has to be unfortunate if you receive it.
34 points the margin then. McVeigh lays it down into the path of Melcheski. He swarmed on, and the umpire will ball it up.
Thanks, Brendan.
So 5.5 minutes remaining in this one. Too much for the Suns to do now. Swallow to Ablett. He's been terrific. The longer it's gone, the better he's got. That's applied to a few Suns this afternoon. Swallow's kick didn't go far. Kennedy to Smith. Not very good. As a result, Shaw with a chance to kick a goal, but everybody back was a Swan. Rampy takes the mark.
It's been good, Rampy. And then goes long. Now the numbers are with the Gold Coast Suns. Gee, that's a good mark from Derricks.
I've been heard us talking about Mike Pike playing in the reserves game.
Nice line.
Mike Pike's hamstring just tightened up slightly, I reckon, after seeing that. That was a great mark. So Derricks down the line. Goods. Quite stay for Goodsy.
Oh.
High tackle, well, not rewarded. Stanley. Kolajasny's been fantastic, not a good kick. Melcheski, very, very good early. Setting it up. Cunningham, probably the best match he's played. Back to Smith, and then Smith out wide. Now can Franklin get a fourth here? Bouncing. May winning the battle. Still winning the battle. And hasn't quite run it out. And it goes.
Oh, I don't think it did.
No. Elite, just, I know I'm a bit Ablett. Would Ablett get a Brownlow vote today? I mean,
oh, it'd have to be. Yeah, I mean, he's had so much of the ball in hands, and you notice him so much, particularly when he runs and carries. So, yeah, it's hard to think anyone's been better than him today. I mean, he hasn't been as outstanding as he can be because he's had to handball the ball a lot, but he's certainly been very good.
Did well, Prestia. As if on cue, he sends a high ball to Prestia up towards the wing. Lynch is in front. The ball goes out of bounds, and well, it's been the making of a couple of players this afternoon.
I suspect he'd be the 3 vote for me. Bruce Ablett. I mean, he's certainly been the Suns' best player, and Jack's been good, Hanbury, Kennedy, they've all been good, but I don't think any of them have been better than him.
May's been outstanding. Kolajasny with a couple of goals. It's amazing now that the name suddenly is rolling off the tongue, isn't it? With familiarity. I wonder if he's got a nickname. I'm guessing Scrabble.
Coca.
How does jazz sound, dude?
That'll do. Scrabble. Ball inside the 50. Here's Goods. Well, he aligned himself to the goals, then tugged the kick, and it goes through for a minor score. Always exciting for a football club to find a player. Now, Pick 5 in the draft means he might be a player, but this afternoon he's proven that.
And then that crowd, 21,354 is the third biggest crowd ever here.
What's the capacity?
25,000.
Oh, 25 is the capacity.
23 is the biggest crowd. That was Collingwood. And Geelong was the other biggest one. I'll get back to that. Lynch, well done. Dixon, that was terrific by Grundy in his 150th. Back it goes to Rampy, to Jack. So Geelong and Collingwood to come. So that's a great crowd today, isn't it?
Well, the Collingwood game, if the Suns continue in this vein, might be the absolute sellout.
So Shaw, lovely kick to Goods. Where's Goods yet, do you reckon, Lee?
I think he's moving okay. As I said, I think he has to be at that almost that ground level third or fourth forward, not so much the overhead mark. And as he's got a bit of match conditioning, he's going well.
Kennedy, and then Kennedy, lovely kick. Oh, dropped. Reed's had a big second half, but not that one. And just on Kennedy, because we talked a lot about Ablett and Kennedy before the match.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been one of the really good players for the Swans. Good clearance player, tackles hard, wins the footy. He's been good. But they've had a group of them. I think that's the point. The Jack, Hanbury, Kennedy, McVeigh, McGlynn. That group has actually just been a bit better than the Suns bunch.
Amira, classy. Accelerates away, has a bounce, puts it into the path of Harbrow. He takes off too, still running these Suns. Bird can't go with him. Harbrow can run down to the 50. Peeling back is Day, spots Day, trying to come across and cover is Richards. And that's good defensive work by Derricks. Or is it Grundy? It was Grundy who ran hard to the square and got on Lynch because Day realised that Lynch's man had come to him, but Grundy just powered back. There he is, still giving instructions down in the goal square. So it requires a good kick now from Day. He's found it hard to fit in this afternoon in that forward line. This one is working back, hit the post. 2/3 of the way up.
He's in their best team. It's just where does he fit in?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, when you've got Dixon and then you've got Lynch in there, it's hard to fit all three of them in. They've got to be taking a lot of marks because clearly they're not going to be that... it's not like a Franklin who's virtually a ground level player even though he's 198 centimetres. They are just big marking players.
So Grundy to McVeigh. And then McVeigh, lovely kick to Hanbury. And there's that depth you talked about, Leo. I mean, those midfielders that have just been so consistent. Goods terrific to Franklin, and then Franklin just missing. So he's had what, 5 shots on goal, buddy, or 6 maybe, but
well, that's been the depth. For instance, Swallow hasn't got a whole lot of the ball. He hasn't been in the game a whole lot. They're just that Wishatali's just been okay. I think the Swans have just got more out of their main half a dozen.
So Ablett back today, and then Day. That's a good kick off a step. I know it's wide, but he got some good distance to bet on a boundary throw in. Is this just there's Tippett, of course? I mean, that's a story. McGlynn looked in a pretty bad way. He'll probably recover all right from that. But is it just an age thing with the difference between the midfields today? Take Ablett out. I mean, most of the Suns are 21, 22.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were very early in their O'Mearas and Swallows. They're in their 3rd and 4th years, so they're very early in their careers. Not as match hardened. Therefore, not as consistent. That happens that way.
G. Russell, bad drop. Hanbury, Bird having a terrific season. Gets it wide. Parker, well done. Parker's a 21-year-old who's about the same age as some of those Suns. Shaw gets it from Goods and then goes really short. And Presti are able to cut it off. Stanley. So full credit to the Suns here in this last quarter. They've been able to hang around, never really threatening. Hanbury to full forward, Kennedy's kick too, and Sydney continue on their winning way. 7 straight, they get to 8-3 at the halfway point. They jump into 3rd spot tonight. Ablett was terrific. So the Suns, with a couple of losses now, just come back to the field a little. They're 7-4. They've still done a good job, but Sydney get a little bit of space between themselves and Gold Coast today. Good match, 17-7, 10-14 tells the tale there, doesn't it? I mean, 24 shots
but
apiece.
Didn't take their chances, the Suns, to be able to pressure the Swans, who did exactly the opposite. He's certainly got the hobble up now.
Tippett, yeah.
So that knee's obviously tightened up.
Down to you, Jude.
I'm here with Josh Kennedy, who had 28 possessions and kicked 2 goals. Josh, this team's really starting to hum right now.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough contest coming up here, and they made it pretty clear that they're going to set themselves for a finals-like game, and the pressure was really on. They had a lot of run. We had a lot of tired guys in the end, especially with a couple off in the end there in the last quarter.
How is Tippett and McGlynn?
I'm not sure about Tippo. McGlynn, he'll be right, I'm sure. Little mighty mouse.
And just the midfield just seemed to be working really well, just the slick hands around the contest and getting it in forward.
Yeah, I thought it was a real game of momentum, and each side had it different times. And when they were on, they were really on. They were smashing us for sort of 5-10 minute periods there, and we were able to sort of grind away. And I guess that was it. We just kept grinding and eventually ticked over the scoreboard.
And a 6-day turnaround to Port Adelaide, a massive game next week.
Yeah, huge game. Obviously, rest up and recover tonight, review the game, and get as soon as we can get into Port Adelaide. Obviously, the premier team in the competition at the moment.
Good. Keep your form going, mate.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, good stuff. They won every quarter, the Swans, in the end. They just stretched their lead at every quarter. They were challenged all the way. There's Tippett, of course, didn't hit the board today. That knee, he doesn't look too concerned, but he has got a prop up. So what a terrific effort by Sydney. 7 in a row. It's been a terrific round of footy. A really good round. Let's take a look at the best stuff so far from round number 12.
Hard is Hawkins. Good tackle, got him down. Not before he gave it to Mackie. Mackie on the run. Bends it back. What a beautiful goal.
Drive them long, settle the tallest target. Leaping up over the top, Bruce. We just know how clever he is. The feel he has for the footy and where the goals are.
Even Wines is working for him. He goes longer. Wingard. Oh, baby! There's your mark of the year.
Stokes just sets it up for Hawkins, and Horland-Smith roved it brilliantly, and then kicks the goal, does he? He does.
He's away. McRae's been excellent this season. Kicks to the top of the square. Williams is there. Got a Cromer coming through. Good running here. Picked up beautifully by Rover. How's that for a start, Western Bulldogs?
Handball off to Howard. Howard trying to inch the footy inside 50. It's cleared the pack. Little something for a goal.
We get the 8th goal for Roughhead. Can we? For number 8, Darren Roughhead. All eyes are on you, and he's kicked the goal.
Front, wins it down. Guthrie's over to football. Selwood, thanks to Guthrie, comes away. And the kick is good. Geelong in front.
Kennedy going well. Now Jett has a good kick from this spot. He likes those.
On the outer side, Smith outmanoeuvred by Bennell, arriving quickly as Lynch lays it off. Ablett, big second term, 10 possessions. Into the path of Harbrow, went back for support, missed the target. Hanbury gives it across to Franklin.
And then Franklin with a long goal. So the one thing the Suns can't afford to do is the obvious here. Late in this third quarter, and Kennedy breaking will probably do it to them. And he does. Little kick down the line. Bennell just laid it off for Ablett. Ablett getting some time and space, gets it back, running hard, releasing. Handball by Kolajasny, getting it back, had to stretch. The young fella, well done. Oh, this would be a magnificent goal, and it is. So the Swans continue on their winning way. They get to 8-3 at the halfway point of the season. They were impressive today. It was a very good match. They were challenged by the Suns, but in the end, it was Sydney 109 to the Suns. $74. So